red woman.
Another one?
Give your master back on Rena this message. No one makes a fool of me. Let them know I'll make them suffer.
Don't do it!
Und tschüss. Oder vielleicht doch kein Fight. Das ist cute. Bye bye.
Go. But know I will be your shadow no matter where you try to run.
Let's go.
Ich dachte halt echt, da kommt noch ein Fight.
I am the one who devours everything. Who answers to neither spirit nor man. My word is law. I am
That.
Are you two okay?
Yeah. We'll be fine.
Is Vholran... have we finally seen the last of him?
We can but hope.
Those red women. What the heck was their deal? Could they be the ones behind all this? The same ones who put those soldiers in Faria in a trance?
What? Those brainless things? Either way, they've done a runner with the Renaissance. Damn it, that's the second time now!
Whatever's stolen from us, we'll steal it back. The future's ours to protect. And right now those things are what's standing in our way. We can head them off at Rena.
Did you say Rena?
Vholran mentioned a master of theirs holed up in the motherland somewhere.
If that monstrous form's their true identity, I shudder to think who they take orders from.
Yeah. There's a good chance it's not human. That's for sure.
So this thing over on Rena, that's what's really behind all this, huh?
They have the Renaissance in their grasp already, so it's unlikely they'll have cause to return to Dahna. I agree that Rena's our best shot.
Then we're agreed. Let's head back to the starship.
Let's go.
But seriously, I was not expecting Vholran to act...
Da kommt echt kein Kampf mehr? Wow. Ich hätte ja eigentlich echt gedacht, dass noch ein Kampf kommt.
Be here. He seemed to...
Kann ich mich porten? Ich kann mich aber nicht porten. Kritisch. Das ist kritisch. Ich kann mich nicht porten. Könnte man denken. Ich denke... Ah, schwierig. Oh.
I didn't see that coming about Vholran. As for those red women, to think they were monsters all along.
Tell me about it. One minute they look perfectly human. Next thing you know, they're not actually human at all.
They definitely weren't Renan or Danon. I'm not even sure language would get through to them.
So what were they then? Human Zoogle hybrids?
Is the most terrifying thing anyone said all day?
How about you, Shion? Doily, you ever seen anything like that before?
No, never. However, if they're the same as the red woman we've seen with Vholran, I think it's safe for us to assume they understand our language at the very least.
I had just so much I wanted to ask them. About Rena, and Shion's thorns.
Unfortunately, they blew themselves up before we got the chance. Why would they do such a thing, though? To take us with them? Or in order to keep something hidden?
Both sound plausible to my ears. They took off with the Renis Alma too, remember?
Yeah, they did. And the next time we meet them, we're going to make sure they tell us everything they know.
Okay, es wird, glaube ich, echt spannend. Es wird spannend. Jetzt haben wir wahrscheinlich gleich noch viele also einen riesen Dungeon. Oh Gott. Ich kann mich immer noch nicht porten. Hoppla. Ich würde halt echt gern mal Items kaufen, wenn ich ehrlich bin. Ich glaube, ich probiere es gar nicht erst, mich wieder zu porten. Hui. Hui. Boah, wehe, ich darf jetzt den ganzen Weg nochmal zurücklaufen. Dann, glaube ich, muss ich öfters die Beine in die Hand nehmen. Weil ich bezweifle sehr, sehr stark, ups, dass wir das schaffen könnten. Wir haben keine Items mehr. Serious. Oder da kommt jetzt noch was. Hoffe ich nicht. Weil wir uns auch nicht porten können. Wisst ihr, wie ich meine? Da ist wieder so ein Ding. Mulmiges Gefühl, wenn ich ehrlich bin. Ups. Ich finde, by the way, das neue Bild geil. Das ist cool gemacht. Aber da ist kein Huddle. Das ist doch nicht so cool. Team Huddle. Okay, aber ich sag mal, jetzt könnte ich zumindest die Monster knacken. Theoretisch. Oh oh. Nee. Ja doch, die Monster können wir auf jeden Fall wieder mitnehmen. Das ist schön. Gibt's wieder ein bisschen extra Stuff. Stuff? Ich denke, dass wir jetzt kurz vorm letzten Dungeon sind. Und dementsprechend werden wir wahrscheinlich auch grinden müssen viel. Wie ich mein Glück kenne. Das ist, was so ein Bossfight ausmacht. Irgendwie habe ich das Gefühl, die sind jetzt einfacher. Autsch. Oh. Alles für den Loot. Alles für den Loot. Alles für die Kalt. Oh. Ist aber hochgesprungen. Laufe ich richtig? Ja. Ja, wo sind denn die Gegner, bevor der scheiß Balken weg ist? Oh nein. Brauchen Gegner. Bitte, 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 bitte. Wo sind denn die ganzen Gegner hin? Da ist einer. Oh, komm schon, komm schon, komm schon. Nice. Bei mir habe ich das Gefühl, dass der Balken jetzt aber langsamer runtergeht. Oh. Hat's geklappt? Jupp, jetzt hat's geklappt. We did it! Ich hab's hingekriegt. Bockjam. Chat, hol die Kamera raus, ich hab's geschafft. Jetzt nochmal schauen. Aber jetzt habe ich zumindest verstanden. Oh. Okay, das war Glück. Und tschüss. Eine Donut. Glück gehabt. Autsch. Hasta la vista, baby. Aber schon ein geiles Game. Macht schon echt Laune.
Don't push yourself too
Oh
hard.
nein. Ah ne, ist 4, okay. Okay, nur Doggos. Autsch. Ich mag das Game. Das Game ist toll. Seh nix.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Uff. Die sind alle tot. Nice.
Am I on a roll or what?
Ah, kommen jetzt noch mal so ein paar Ritter. Das wäre nicht schlecht. Schade. Schade, schade, Schokolade. Fuck it. Ich hätte vorher mal speichern sollen.
What the? When did it get pitch dark all of a sudden?
The lights are all out. Think it has something to do with the explosion back in the Forbidden Zone? Doe?
You two.
Faria, Avakir. Thank goodness you're safe.
Avakir filled me in about everything. About how I ambushed you all.
She doesn't remember a thing, so she really was being controlled.
He told me about Tarnigan, too. Is it true?
What difference does it make? What's done is done.
Stop casting me off, just for once!
Faria, not now. It can wait. Dohalim, Lenegus is in grave peril.
So I can see.
It's the city's core reactor. It's damaged. Some of the basic systems we've managed to keep online, but complete restoration's still a way off.
You're an elite technician, though. You can fix it, right?
If so, then what's the problem?
Panic's begun to set in among the citizens. Until now, whenever something like this happened, the Sovereign would issue a decree. But this time, not so much as a peep. Any longer, and we run the risk of riots breaking out before we can get things back up and running.
Forget the Sovereign. I doubt you'll be hearing from him anytime soon.
What's that supposed to mean? Do you know something I don't?
Suffice it to say, the Sovereign isn't the kind of ruler we thought he was. That is, if he ever even existed, which is looking doubtful at this stage.
Are you out of your mind? Why, if people knew that a lord such as yourself was whispering such blasphemy, they'd...
There's no time to explain now. It sounds like we need to find a way to keep Lenegus from spiraling out of control.
We need to stop that riot.
But how do we do that?
Riots feed on discontent and unrest, right? So if we want to keep the peace, we just need to put people's minds at ease.
At ease? Like by letting them hear directly from someone they trust. That's it. Who's the highest-ranking person in Lenegus right now?
Lenegus
Alpha?
wouldn't have a next in line. After all, you said the Sovereign rules over everyone directly, right?
Correct. The closest thing to an authority figure would be a lord. And the only one left is... Ah. Very well then. Avakir, you mentioned a few facilities were still online. Which ones?
Why?
Why hasn't the Sovereign said anything?
Please, won't somebody explain what's going on?
Is it over? What's going to happen to all of us?
Heed me now, fellow Renans of Lenegus. It is I, Lord Dohalim Ilkaris of Eldamen and Sia.
Look, up there! It's Lord Dohalim!
Hold on! He should be in the crown contest! Shouldn't he? Why isn't the Sovereign talking to us?
The Sovereign is seeing to other matters right now. In my capacity as Lord, I speak to you in his stead. You're afraid. As people so often are when faced with the unknown. I hope you'll allow me to put your fears to rest. The city's core reactor has experienced a malfunction. However, we have our top engineers attending to the matter, and things will soon be back to normal. I know that you feel abandoned, perhaps more scared and alone than ever before. But I ask you all to keep one thing in mind. You are Lenegus, not the Lords and Sovereign. The solidarity of its citizens is the mortar that holds it together. If we don't allow ourselves to be distracted by our differences, if we put our hearts and minds together and stand as one, I am confident we will find new hope. I would be honored to stand with you. Not as a person of loftier rank, but as another human being among many. I hope that you'll lend me your strength, for if we can persevere as one, I know a bright tomorrow awaits.
We pray the relief will tide the city over for the time being.
What you said earlier, about the Sovereign possibly not even existing, was it true?
It's still too premature to say with any certainty, but I believe so. This whole time, this world we've been fed was a lie, built on nothing but falsehoods.
But it can't all have been...
I can believe it. After everything I saw in the Forbidden Zone, what they did to Faria, it's the only explanation that makes sense.
But what about hierarchy, Avakir? Authority? The very foundations of Renan society? How can we live without someone to guide us?
I'd say we found someone capable of doing just that, wouldn't you?
You? You can't be serious.
I have business I must take care of first. But once everything is over, I shall return. But not as your sovereign, nor as a leader the likes of which the people here are used to, I think.
But how else do you propose to rule?
I'm not sure yet. All I have is a feeling that here in Lenegus, a new dawn is on the verge of breaking. One in which people won't be judged by birthright or on the power of their astral arts, but on other things. More important things. Things like, oh, I don't know, musical talent, for example.
When I bumped into you after all those years, I said you were no different. But I was wrong. Truth is, you were always different. I feel like maybe now I can finally begin to accept turn against death. To see a future.
You go finish whatever it is you've got to do. I'll hold down the fort here in Lenegus till you get back.
Thank you.
I guess you're not going to make it to Menancia for the foreseeable future, huh?
Indeed. Forgive me.
The people of Menancia can look after themselves just fine. It's the ones here on Lenegis who need someone to guide them. Besides, with you leading the people here, it'll help spread the idea of coexistence beyond Menancia's borders that much faster.
Sounds like you're in it for the long haul.
How could I not be, after the second chance that I've been granted? From this day forth, I shall dedicate myself to the future inhabitants of this world. Though the memories of the departed shall remain forever in my heart.
Remember, you're going to be leading the people here, not ruling them.
True enough. Whatever would I do without you, Kisara?
With or without her, I suspect you're gonna have your hands full when the time comes. We should be heading back to the ship. Business on Rena awaits.
Krass. Das ist echt krass. Holy Macaroni. FP verteilen wir noch nicht. Okay, porten können wir nicht. Aber ich würde gerne mal Items kaufen. Dankeschön für WP. Es tut mir so mega leid. Ich musste jetzt einfach. Das ging jetzt nicht, absolut nicht. Dunkles Mal. Das war jetzt allerhöchste Eisenbahn. Vanessa hat mir gerade geschrieben, dass der Flug schon eine halbe Stunde Verspätung hat. Ich glaube, morgen wird eine Katastrophe. Nach der Arbeit. Oh, 7500. Das wird morgen die reinste Katastrophe. Aufzustehen. Heilmittel, die die KP mit allen Verbindungen vollständig wiederherstellen, K.O. sowie körperliche Leiden heilt. Als Backup wäre es vielleicht nicht schlecht. Das heißt, wird spät heute Nacht. Ich muss morgen früh aufstehen. Verkaufe ich jetzt die Waffen oder nicht? Oh, guck mal, wir könnten... Das ist sogar schlechter. Okay, das Equipment ist schlechter. Vielleicht verkaufe ich wirklich nur von Alphen und von Shione. Dass wir zumindest mal wieder ein bisschen kalt haben. Wisst ihr, wie ich meine? Dinger können wir auch verkaufen, da haben die ja neues Gear. Ist es jetzt wirklich beschlossen? Ist es wirklich so? Nee, okay. Ich hatte verstanden, dass Dohalim jetzt weggeht. Okay, kaufen wir uns erstmal neue Items. Ein bisschen Geld haben wir jetzt wieder. Oder ein bisschen kalt. Kaufen wieder 13. Oh, so viel kann ich gar nicht kaufen. Scheiße. Shit. Also ein bisschen grinden wäre nicht verkehrt, sage ich mal. Wo müssen wir eigentlich hin? Ah ja, stimmt, wir müssen ja aufs Raumschiff zurück. Da kommen wir so nicht hin. Okay, dann laufen wir hin. Erstmal speichern wir. Erstmal schnell speichern. Ich hoffe halt, ich sag ganz ehrlich, wie es ist. Ich hoffe, dass ich halt morgen Abend fit bin für einen Stream. Falls nicht, entschuldige ich mich hier schon an der Stelle. Weil wir müssen natürlich dann auch morgen direkt, wenn ich nach Hause komme, einkaufen, weil wir halt... Ist ja logisch, wenn Vanessa nicht da ist, dann müssen wir morgen auch einkaufen. Ich hoffe, das wird morgen nicht zu stressig. Und ich werde auch nicht zu sehr im Arsch sein. Das Ding ist, wenn ich um 11 Uhr daheim bin, habe ich 4 Stunden Schlaf. Boah, ich bin auch nicht mehr der Jüngste. Ich will auf jeden Fall probieren, morgen zu streamen. Ich will auf jeden Fall. Ich muss. Sagen wir mal so, ich muss. Sonst haben wir echt bald ein Problem. Ich weiß nicht, wie weit es noch bis zum Ende ist. Was war das? Oh stimmt, wir haben ein Skit. Gar nicht gesehen.
In one sense, when all is said and done, perhaps I have been a slave this whole time too.
You, a Renan Lord? How do you figure that exactly?
I was complicit in the Renin system, bound by its values, resigned to being swept along, without the resolve to take a stand. And when I realized the severity of my mistake, all I longed for was punishment. A lord. And yet my first instinct was to place my fate in the hands of others.
I think I can relate. I couldn't stand watching my people bow and scrape their way through life, but I didn't know what else I could do about it either. The ability to think for yourself and be your own master. That's what separates a slave from a free person. At least, that's what Law's dad Zephyr used to say. Zephyr taught me how to fight. But in doing so, he also taught me how to live.
Even if it means stumbling along the way. If it's on a road of our own choosing, free of regret. Why, that's the road of freedom. Or, to put it another way, so long as his heart is compromised, even the loftiest of kings is no freer than a slave. I think I finally understand now. This Zephyr character sounds like he was a wise man indeed. I only wish I could have met him.
There's just so much I wish I could ask him, especially now. I wonder, have I been correctly carrying on the torch that he passed to me?
How long have you known?
Known what?
About the darkness I carry inside me. You seem to have been aware of it for quite some time now.
Why ask me now? What does it matter? But yes, I have. I've pretty much known that something was gnawing at you ever since we left Menancia.
So basically since the very start of our journey then. Just when I thought I couldn't feel more ashamed.
Leave the past where it belongs. We have no need for it now. You're forging ahead. That's what matters. If my brother could see you, he'd be proud.
Not as proud as he would be of his sister, I'm sure.
Well then, just as well it's not a competition, huh?
Das hört gar nicht mehr auf jetzt.
Kisara? Anyone at home in there?
Sorry. Did I look distracted?
Among other things. To be entirely honest, I couldn't tell whether you were smiling or frowning.
You were thinking about Dohalim, weren't you?
That obvious, huh? I was just thinking how good it is to see him moving forward at last. It was always so infuriating, knowing how capable he could be if he just put his mind to it. A prisoner trapped in a cage of his own self-doubt. But now, he's finally beginning to spread his wings. I'm happy for him.
So, then why do you look so sad?
Oh, I don't know if I'd say sad. There's a bittersweetness to it, I guess. It's good and strange, knowing that he won't be needing me anymore. It probably sounds weird, doesn't it? I have this massive worry off my mind. I should be jumping up and down for joy, right?
Must be that maternal instinct of yours at work.
Rinwell's right. You're like a mother bird, finally letting go as her child takes his first shaking and nervous flight from the nest.
A pretty big child.
That's one way to look at it. I wouldn't like to see Dohalim's face if he heard you say that. All this has made me realize I can't allow myself to become a prisoner of my own making like he was. If Dohalim can forge his own path ahead, then I can too. I won't be left behind.
Ich hab schon mal erzählt, dass ich die Story in dem Game echt hart feier. Die Story ist einfach eine 10 von 10. Ich mag die Story echt mega. Für mich ein wunderbarer Tales of Teil. Und generell die Tales of Games haben mir sehr, sehr gut gefallen. Aus der Serie. Auch wenn ich nicht so, sag ich mal, so begeistert war. Aber es ist trotzdem eine tolle Experience gewesen. Wir haben noch einige Tales of vor uns. Ihr wisst, sobald wir Xenoblade starten, gibt es ja wieder eine neue Straw Pool mit neuen Games. Und auch wieder ein Tales of. Wir haben ja noch, ich glaube, es gibt noch eine Menge, die wir zocken müssten. generell müsste ich mal gucken, welche Games wir dann noch alles offen haben. Okay, hier war das ja von dem Save-File vorhin. Hier müssen wir nichts mehr machen. Weil irgendwie hat der Save-File da nicht wirklich was gespeichert. Haben wir ja vorhin schon, wo wir gestartet haben, rausbekommen. Oh, das war buggy. Glaube ich aber eher weniger. Ja, war buggy. Okay. Lenegis. Können wir eigentlich... Geht es? Warte mal. Können wir eigentlich? Oh ja, guck mal. Wir könnten gar nicht mehr zurück. Oh. Oder? Vielleicht jetzt übers Raumschiff. Können wir? Maybe. I don't know.
I thought we'd find answers on Lenegis, but we just ended up finding more questions.
You can say that again. And now we have more problems to fix too. Like figuring out how to reform Lenegis.
That can wait for now. We've got more than enough on our plates to deal with as it is. Like figuring out who's really running the show on Rena.
Yeah. Which is why we're going to the Renan homeworld.
All the answers we've been looking for are on that planet. The person responsible for all this. The Red Woman and the Renaissance. The answers have to be there. Are we prepared to finally find them?
So, what do we do first when we get there?
We know nothing about the Renan homeworld or what we might face once we arrive. We should get a feel for how things are on the ground before we take any serious steps.
It's also entirely possible that the first thing we're going to face is an attack.
If we come across a capital, we should...
Oh, oh, oh. Guck mal, der Haarschnitt. Das riecht nach Ärger. Und zwar richtig bösen Ärger. Kopfkino. Huddel fliegt raus und Kung Fu Fighting. Patsch, patsch, patsch und weg sind sie. Und weg sind wir. Ich habe das Gefühl, dass wir nach Rena jetzt geportet werden. Das ist ja nicht einfach ein Ort, weißt du, wo du mal so lockerflockig hinfliegen kannst. Bis im schwarzen Loch. Ende. Ab morgen dann Final Fantasy. Oder Lost Odyssey.
Damn! The hell just happened?
Our course has been altered. The coordinates are pointing to a different destination.
What's that?
The ship's controls aren't accepting my commands. The engine is being shut down.
That's bad, right?
Quite bad. We've lost control of the ship.
Is all of this the Red Women's doing?
Are they trying to finish us off before we can land?
Everyone! Look there!
Ich will's auch sehen. Oh, animiert! Das ist definitiv animiert. Genau. Final Fantasy, die wahre Geschichte. Irgendwie so hat er so ein bisschen Vibes oder gehabt. So ganz dezent. Oh oh. Ja, das frage ich mich auch, warum sie das halt erstmal untersucht haben. Ich glaube, da erwartet uns das Ende.
A flower blooming out of Rena?
But that flower looks like it's absorbing all of Dahna's energy.
And it appears Lenegis is serving as a conduit for that energy to reach here. Could that have been its true purpose all along?
If that's true, do you think the people back on Lenegis are all right?
We can only pray that they are.
Damn it! Haven't they taken enough already? When is this going to end?
A flower of oblivion.
With everything that's happening, we need to get back to Lenegis. Is the ship still offline?
Unfortunately, yes. Even more so than when it lay dormant.
Can you fix it?
Starships are extremely complex machines. One wrong move while we're out here in space could very well cost us our lives.
So what? We're just stuck inside here, floating around? For how long?
I don't believe this. We've made it all this way, and now we're stuck here? We're watching Dahna die before our eyes, and we have no choice but to sit here and starve to death?
Law, calm down.
You're not the only one who's worried here.
Right. Sorry.
It's still too early to give up. There has to be a way to get out of this.
Alphen.
Now what?
The starship, it's back online?
No, this is different. Something is pulling our ship in towards it.
Diese Woche sogar fertig werden. Ja, dann müssen wir echt mal gucken, wie wir das machen. Wahrscheinlich dann 2 Tage Final Fantasy und einen Tag Lost Odyssey. GTRP als Übergang. Habe ich gestern sogar mal wieder dran gedacht. Also, nicht das zu machen, sondern so die Erinnerung mit Zack und so.
Where are we?
It looks like Lenegis in here.
Do you think we might run into more Renans here? Or those red women?
Perhaps. Someone brought us here. The question is, who?
We haven't been ambushed, so that probably means they aren't hostile. Still, why would anyone want to bring us here?
Hey, Shion!
If they wanted to attack us, they could have done so while we were back on the starship. We should see where this path takes us.
Können auch Fortnite als Übergang machen. Haha, Kappa. Oder 2 Stunden Retro-Spiele. Ja, würde ich ja dann machen mit Final Fantasy. Ist ja ein Retro-Spiel. Aber wir haben es geht.
Ah, Shion, just in the nick of time. Here, lend me a hand while I...
No!
What the... Oh, right. The thorns. My bad.
No, I'm the one who should apologize. I overreacted.
Again, Law? Can't you even go a minute without putting your foot in your mouth?
Seriously, it's fine. I'd rather that than people feeling like they're walking on eggshells around me. Besides, I'm the one who should be vigilant about not touching you guys, not the other way around.
Actually, I've been meaning to ask. Not being able to touch people, does it ever get lonely sometimes?
I guess I never really thought about it in those terms. It was either accept it for what it was or come undone. Before long, it was just part of my everyday reality. I think I even forgot there was another way to live. Which isn't to say I didn't feel alone. I did. Always.
So numb to your reality, you couldn't even recognize it as loneliness? I don't know how you managed.
It's fine. I know I'm not alone anymore.
But I can't even touch you. No way of lending you a shoulder when you're down? Even Alphen.
I appreciate the concern. Until I get rid of these thorns, I guess I'll have to put up with it just a little longer. But not forever. Alphen promised me that. Maybe it'll be soon, maybe it won't be. But either way, the day will come. And I'll be ready when it does.
Yeah, just hang in there. One day, we'll share a big warm hug. You'll see. I promise.
Oh ja, voll Geist. Ey, ich bin so dermaßen auf das Ende gespannt. Ach du heilige Kacke. Oder 16 zocken? Ach, das ist doch sowas von gestern, hallo? Ach, Final Fantasy 16.
Boo! Ah, what the? Are you out of your mind? This isn't the time for games, Rinwell.
Oh, come on. How am I supposed to resist with you looking all jittery like that?
It's called experiencing feelings appropriate to the situation. You ought to try it sometime.
Yeah, but seeing you act all nervous, you're making me start to feel nervous too.
Oh, sorry.
Staying alert is important, but too much caution can cloud your judgment. Try to strike a balance.
Ne, Fall Guys könnten wir echt mal zocken. Das kann man sogar mal im Stream machen, theoretisch.
Yeah, our planet's really not doing too hot right about now.
I've only ever seen Rena from the surface of Dahna, so I figured it was just another round planet like ours. Still though, I never would have imagined Rena actually looked like that. And what's the deal with that giant flower coming out of it?
Beats me. I have absolutely no clue. It's so surreal. It looks like a broken egg or something.
Rena and Dahna. We were taught that both worlds were spherical bodies that floated amongst the stars in the heavens. But to think that they lied to us not only about the Sovereign and the Crown contest, but also the form of our own planet.
Dohalim.
Okay, who's the wise guy that summoned us here?
Was Schlaumeier hat uns hierher berufen.
Starship along with us.
They must be here somewhere. Let's find them.
Nächstes geht.
That beam of light joining Dahna and Rena. It was the Renan side that it first came from, right?
That's what it looked like. And then the Dahnan side responded.
Perhaps it was some kind of directive from the Renan homeworld? To reawaken the Wedge and Lenegis?
Which would mean that whoever's behind all this is on Rena after all. But what are they after? Is it really worth going through all this trouble just to steal Dahna's energy?
Try to stay calm. With so many factors we don't understand, dwelling on it won't get us anywhere. What is it?
No, it's just... Zephyr once told me the same thing. So much for me making progress, huh?
You made it this far, didn't you? You notice something, you change it. That's all anyone can do. But you can't stand still in the meantime.
Ich weiß nicht, ob ich gerade durch diese Tür gehen will. Nicht, dass gleich irgendwie ein Riesendialog kommt und ich zeitlich nicht schaffe. Deswegen würde ich sagen, machen wir an der Stelle einfach mal Schluss und machen dann morgen weiter.